Bernie Sanders is set to run. That isn't a surprise. The fact that Hillary Clinton is not ruling out doing the same thing might be. But if you think about it with Bernie Sanders, all of these candidates who have emerged now talking expanded Medicare, Medicare for all, paying for college, a lot of that started with Bernie Sanders when it wasn't cool. His campaign staffer, former campaign staffer, Tezlyn Figaro, joins us right now. Tezlyn, very good to have you.
Hi, Neil. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. Let me ask you, is it a given, and would you support Bernie Sanders if he saddled up again?
Well, Bernie Sanders has a lot to be able to show he's still a viable candidate. I am really disappointed, and a lot of other staffers, or not staffers, our supporters are as well, with this exploratory committee gimmick. I think he needs to either decide if he's going to run or either stop running his mouth or run for office. Me personally, just to be honest with you, Neil, I won't be going for anybody this year. I'll be keeping wide open, looking at all the candidates, looking at everything that they have to say, and I'm just, honestly just want to start all the way over from scratch. 2016 is very different than 2020, and because I believe in democracy, I'm giving everybody a fair opportunity.
That's a good way to be. Tezlyn, what I noticed, though, they're all out burning each other, if you think about it. A lot of the ideas that started with him have now become pretty much mainstream in the party, not across the board, but with enough candidates that they all want to outdo him. I guess in case he runs. Does that worry you, or are you okay with that, or what?
Well, it certainly doesn't worry me. I think the more, the better. Debating ideas is good. I think 20, 30 candidates is great. Have 17, just like the Republicans did last time, so that we can really see who's really progressive, who's moderate, who's not. All of a sudden, everybody's a progressive. All of a sudden, everybody's Medicare for all, when these same folks, didn't support it at all 2 years ago. I always like to make it clear, especially when I'm on Fox, I'm not a socialist. I signed up with Bernie Sanders because I was anti-establishment. So a lot of people, including Bernie Sanders, they're going to have to show who really has the best ideals for the Democratic Party. And the Democrats are not going to allow Senator Sanders to take over the party like he did in 2016. That's just the bottom line. So, and a lot of them will say that they're progressive in the primary, but then, of course, we know they'll flip like a mattress once the general election happens, and they'll become moderate candidates all of a sudden as well. So it'll be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it.
Does it worry you that someone, like Starbucks former head Schultz is looking seriously at an independent run for president, and many look at that and say that would divide the Democratic vote and hand it to Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, again, I'm not worried at all. I think it's good. Senator Sanders should have ran independent. Stop begging to be a Democrat when you're not one. Clearly he's not a Democrat. Perhaps he should have ran independent. They're not going to give him an opportunity, like I just mentioned a moment ago, to take over. So I think it's good when you have somebody split the vote. A lot of Democrats would disagree.
You don't think they're going to give him an opportunity this go around? Or is that what
Absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely not. Oh, sure, no question about it. Nobody's going to allow you to not be a Democrat and come in and seek the Democratic nomination. He's not just fighting Hillary Clinton this time. He's going to fight about 10-plus candidates. So it's going to be nearly impossible.
But they're all preaching from the same choir book that you can argue he wrote.
Yeah, that's true. But at the end of the day, they're not all going to his church. They can be preaching from the same choir, but, their pastor is Pastor Warren and Pastor Harris and Pastor Booker. They have their own outreach. And so Sanders hasn't been able to tap into a lot of different communities. He hasn't made that good of an effort to go many strides, since he ran in 2016. So he's going to have a tough time for sure.
Real quickly, you intrigued me with your position now on the guy you used to work for and want to see become president. Do other staffers, senior or otherwise, who worked with him, a couple of years ago, feel the same way?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and to sign up with Bernie Sanders again this second time, you would pretty much be signing up to be a sacrificial lamb. Everyone's not interested in, having to deal with the constant debates on racism and his issues with race and class. Everyone's not wanting to be signed up to be considered a Bernie bro. Everyone doesn't want to take on the party establishment again this time because it will be extremely divisive. So although he has a lot of support, a lot of supporters, surrogates, and former staffers will sign up with him a second time, there are also people who have decided to do something different. And some of that has to do with him joining up with Hillary Clinton. A lot of people feel that he flipped and went to the other side during the general election. So things are very different than 2016.
Right. Interesting. Tezlyn, very good talking to you again. Be well.
Thank you.
All right, Tezlyn Figaro.